This is the doko, a traditional basket used for carrying everything and anything in the hills of Nepal. It's carried on your back with a support strap around your head. And each year, for hundreds of young men, it represents the final hurdle to get into the legendary Brigade of Gurkhas. The doko race is a 4-kilometer run with 35 kilograms on your back. Time allowed, just 35 minutes. 1 minute under, you're in. 1 minute over, well, it's a long walk home. Ever since the British East India Company raised the first Gurkha regiment in 1815, the British Gurkhas have been at the sharp end of the UK's major military campaigns. Since Indian independence in 1947, they've been an integral part of the British Army. And through countless legendary stories, they have earned an enviable reputation as one of the bravest and fiercest fighting forces in the world. Recruiting in Nepal is conducted under a tripartite agreement, and it's this agreement, signed in 1947 by the governments of Nepal, India and UK, that outlines the unique terms and conditions under which all Gurkhas serve. It also enables the recruitment of the young men of Nepal into the British Army, where they subsequently serve worldwide and eventually retire back to Nepal as respected members of Nepalese society. Now, while many in the British Armed Forces know the fearsome reputation of the Gurkhas, few realise the intensity of competition for entry. The Brigade of Gurkhas is in the enviable position of having too many applicants. On average, each year, 28,000 potential recruits apply for just 230 vacancies. The selection process is designed to select the best educated, most intelligent, medically and physically fit young men. Competition is fierce, the tests are stringent, and many will leave disappointed.
Every stage of the selection process, I will be there to supervise and to make sure that it's seen to be fair, that they are being told why they have failed. Those potential recruits that fail at that stage are, by and large, totally devastated. They are shaken, shocked, some are in tears. But having spoken to some who were in that position last year, it generally reinforces their determination to try again and try that little bit harder in the following year. At that stage, any and all of them would make very good soldiers, but we just don't have the vacancies in the British Army, so we have to draw a line.
The Brigade of Gurkhas demands high standards from its soldiers. The quality of the Gurkha soldier underpins the reputation of the Brigade of Gurkhas, and this dictates that only the best are selected.
The quality of the recruits that the British Brigade of Gurkhas presently looks for is the highest. We basically now not only go for the physical side of the fitness, we very much go into the education standard business as well. So the lowest standard we actually take is from class 8, meaning their 8th year of study. And they are very much tested for the English quality as well.
Lots of the boys who come here as potential recruits have been educated at boarding school and will have done as much education, if not more, than some of the infantry soldiers coming in from Britain.
After 16, school becomes voluntary, but stays free until they are 18.
748, just like to start.
So I think in the future you're going to see Gurkhas who have a much higher level of English, much better communication skills, and therefore can work much easier alongside their British counterparts. So we are taking the cream of the crop, I think, although obviously there are other things to be considered as well as education.
As with most underdeveloped countries, disease is commonplace in Nepal, and all recruits are medically screened to ensure that only those at the peak of physical health are accepted.
I feel, as a doctor who's served with other regiments outside the Brigade of Gurkhas, that on the whole they are as good, if not better, than many other British infantry soldiers. I'd say that these guys are very tough. They have been brought up in a hard existence and they're naturally very determined to do their best whilst they're in the army.
By the time central selection at Pokhara is over, the number of potential recruits will have been reduced by nearly 99%. Those who remain have a right to be proud, as, with their families watching, they swear an oath of allegiance to the Crown and prepare to start their new life in the British Army. Since leaving Hong Kong in 1997, the Brigade of Gurkhas has been based in the UK, and in keeping with its full integration into the wider army, the brigade now conducts its recruit training alongside British recruits in the UK. For the new recruits, the move from Kathmandu to Catterick signifies the start of a complete change of lifestyle and culture as they embark on their career in the British Army. Gurkha recruits are trained in the same manner, using the same facilities as British recruits. As a result of those stringent selection processes conducted in Nepal, Gurkha recruits generally have a zero wastage rate during training. On top of all this, most Gurkhas go on to serve for a minimum of 15 years, which, combined with zero wastage, means a high return on investment for the MOD. In order to complete the cultural transition, all Gurkhas spend a little longer in Catterick than British recruits. This allows them to receive English language training and to adopt the corporate identity of the Brigade of Gurkhas. Those soldiers cap-badged to engineer and logistics regiments also receive technical language training before going on to complete trade training. So what do Gurkhas do in today's army? Well, they serve as formed units rather than as individuals scattered throughout the army. In addition to serving in engineer, signals and logistics regiments, there are 2 battalions of Royal Gurkha Rifles, one in Shorncliffe. And the other in Brunei. Incidentally, the only unit in the British Army in full-time jungle training. Then there's the use of Gurkhas for demonstration purposes at the School of Infantry's Jungle Warfare Wing in Brunei and on flagship courses at Brecon and Sandhurst. Gurkhas can serve worldwide. Recently, they've been in Bosnia, Kosovo, Afghanistan and Sierra Leone.
Since September the 11th, we've been enormously busy, and I've had soldiers deployed in America, in Afghanistan, in Macedonia, in India, in Bangladesh, indeed all over the world on operations.
So what kind of people can a unit employing Gurkha soldiers expect? Well, they'll find Gurkhas exceptionally fit, loyal and committed, the result of having had to work hard to get as far as they have done. More importantly, when the chips are down, Gurkhas have proven time and time again to be some of the fiercest fighters in the world.
Now we are going to dismantle this pontoon.
But beyond this, there are social and cultural differences which mark out the Gurkha soldier from his British counterpart.
Okay.
Nepal is often referred to as the Hindu kingdom. In fact, it is a country of immense cultural and religious diversity. The majority of religions include Hinduism and Buddhism, but there are many others which are equally tolerated, including Islam and Christianity. Religion plays a big part in their lives. They have Hindu temples for worship under the guidance of religious teachers known as pundits. Their preferred diet will be different too. Nepali food tends to be quite spicy, and those Gurkhas who are practicing Hindus will not normally eat beef. There are other things that set the Gurkha apart from his typical British counterpart. He doesn't usually swear or boast. It's not in his nature. He also has a strong sense of traditional family values and a natural respect for age and rank that reflects his upbringing in Nepal. The cultural differences are there, but they're easy to accommodate. All that's needed is a little understanding and respect for his heritage, and the terms and conditions of his service. The tripartite agreement lays down the framework for the unique terms and conditions under which all Gurkha soldiers serve. For instance, there's a widespread misconception within the wider army and the general public that Gurkha pay is substantially less than that received by British soldiers, and this is simply not true. Their basic pay is based on Indian Army rates of pay. Against this, they receive a cost of living allowance that brings their net take-home pay to the same level as that of an equivalent British serviceman. As part of their financial package, Gurkhas have no individual tax or national insurance liability and pay no food or accommodation charges. Gurkhas are also entitled to take all the traditional British holidays. In addition, the tripartite agreement makes special provision for them to take leave on the main Hindu festivals of Dashain and Tihar, as well as other Nepalese public holidays. There are also special domestic considerations. 11 days line leave on the birth of a child, and to enable them to retain their social and cultural links with Nepal, they receive 5 months leave with free air travel after each period of 3 years' service. When their time in the British Army is over, the tripartite agreement stipulates that all Gurkhas must return to Nepal as Nepali citizens. The Brigade of Gurkhas goes to great lengths to ensure that Gurkha reintegration into Nepalese society is as smooth as possible. Prior to final discharge from the army, all Gurkhas receive the same resettlement package as British soldiers in the UK, and also attend a reorientation course in Kathmandu. In Nepal, they enjoy a high standard of living based on an immediate pension scheme that they receive on discharge. The pension that a Gurkha receives is calculated to give him a comfortable standard of living in Nepal and is comparable to salaries earned by Nepalese professionals, such as doctors, bank managers and senior civil servants. During retirement in Nepal, all ex-Gurkha servicemen have access to a worldwide re-employment program and a comprehensive welfare and medical support scheme provided by the Gurkha Welfare Trust and its network of welfare centres throughout the brigade's traditional recruiting areas. When a Gurkha ex-serviceman falls on exceptionally hard times, then the Gurkha Welfare Scheme is there as a safety net and to provide support.
In our country, we don't have national health service. It is very, very expensive for medication. But those who served in the British Army, we have got this medical welfare scheme all over the country, east, west and central, including Darjeeling.
The facilities provided by the scheme go a long way to improving the overall infrastructure of the Gurkha homeland, a land that has provided some of the world's finest soldiers. The Gurkha soldier, a product of one of the most rigorous selection processes in the world. A man who is proud to serve the Crown and, as an integral part of the British Army, is a direct contributor to its operational capability.